What's up, guys? Thanks again for clicking on this video. I'll thank you at the end if you watch the whole thing. I'm going to try to do a little bit less of this like head stuff as I like review and produce some of these videos. I think I'm doing a lot of like weird feminine movements and stuff and like the Trump hands. So I'll probably keep working in my space right here, but I'll try to like be less, bobblehead. So there's going to be probably 2 videos in a row where I'm in this setting with the same clothes just because I'm actually filming them at the same time. It's hard for me to find time dedicated to actually like filming and putting some of the stuff out. So I'm taking advantage of this small block of time that I've allocated today to putting some content together. But so for this video, I wanted to quickly run through my opinion on the Rocky Ridge trucks. It all comes down to one big thing, why I don't think it's worth the money. So, but I'm going to go through some of the, like why I got this truck, why I like this truck, why I dislike this truck, and then why I don't think it's worth the money at this moment in time. So back in 21, I think, I had a 2017 F-150 Lariat. Same setup, so it was a 6-inch lift on 35s, and it turned out to be a lemon. So Ford actually bought it back years down the road. I don't know if that's lemon law, actually. I don't know. But it had so many problems under warranty that Ford actually bought the truck back from me and paid me back for the warranty, like the extended warranty that I paid for. And the problem was at the time that we were like in COVID, it was like global mass hysteria. And so all of the trucks were just flying off the shelf. There was no discounts or anything like that. Prices were going through the roof. My friend and neighbor was the CEO of a large chain of dealerships in the state. So I got really good customer service. I used to get really great pricing, but all of that went away because of COVID. And so, they took such good care of me at this dealership. I was not even going to consider going to another dealership. And so I bought this truck there. That was the plan the entire time. We were paying, because the truck was in the shop, I was paying for a rental truck that Ford didn't cover. It was $2,000 a week for this rental truck. So I was spending way too much on a rental truck, had to get a truck soon. And it was between 2 used Raptors, which is a stupid idea, and then special edition trucks like the Rocky Ridge, Black Widow, Tremor, all that stuff. And so it was just very limited options, very long wait time for a special order truck. And so I damn sure wasn't gonna get a used Raptor that some high schooler jumped off a 100-foot dirt bike jump. And I didn't really care for the Black Widow truck so much. It seemed like it had a couple extra like points of flair on top of this truck that it wasn't too much. It was just too jazzy for me. And when I bought this truck, I had them take off a bunch of the stuff, like the windshield decal and like some badges all over the truck. I did leave like the Decepticon looking one on the door. So to sum it up, the reason I got this truck as opposed to the other trucks came down to the paint. I really love the paint color because the rest of the Rocky Ridges and Black Widows were more or less the same thing, but I just really loved like the satin gray. It looked good, and it had a PPF wrap on it, or at least they told me it did, and it didn't have that on there. But so the color made a big difference, and then it had like the diamond stitch seats on the inside that I thought were pretty cool. So, but it was used Raptor or expensive package trucks. And so prices, it was $60,000 for, whichever Raptor with like 80,000 miles on it, or it was basically $100,000 for the Rocky Ridges or Black Widows, and maybe like 94 grand range, something like that, 96 grand, which was absolutely absurd at the time. I knew it, but at that time, at least interest rates were still good. So I got the truck, loved it. I did take the fender flares off. That was the only thing I did, move my bed cover over this truck. And then shortly after, that's when Banger came about. So let me just be upfront and say that I do love this truck. The number one reason I love this truck is because of the cab. I think it was in 2015, they started putting the 3/4 and 1 ton size cabs on the 1/2 ton trucks. And I absolutely love that. When we put my daughter or the dog in the back seat, there's just as much room in the back seat as my old 250. and it's really important to me. Also, the cockpit size is huge. Like, I've got a ton of space in the driver's seat. There's a ton of space with the center console. I'm not crowding Kristen on the center console. The dash is huge. I think it's a 13 or 14 inch screen right in the dash, touch screen. Everything about the ecosystem, the cockpit, and the cab itself is fantastic. Like, I love that. Obviously, like I said, the paint's fantastic. Here in the back of the truck, it came with an inverter. I used the crap out of that thing. If some hogs walk up within sight, I'm gonna stop and go kill them. That's why that gun's sitting right there. So I do have the inverter on board. I use it all the time. Huge for me. This truck, one of the cool things I didn't even know about until later on, one of my buddies was showing me when I start like learning more about off-roading, is it came with a rear locker, and I use it all the time now on the trails and stuff. So that's a huge plus for me now. I do wish it had a front locker, which I'll get into later when I re-gear this truck. But absolutely pleased with it. The number one thing up until recently I was displeased with on this truck were the rims. So the 35s and 22s, like I just said it on the last video, I don't know why you would put an off-road package truck together and then put a 22-inch rim on it. It just makes absolutely no sense. And it was sort of like, not a deep dish, but like the inverse of that. So like it was like a decent looking wheel, but it had like the wide open pan on the inside. And one time I got a bunch of mud caked up on there and didn't realize it, but it rode like crap. So 6-inch lift, 35s, 22s, butt cheeks, awful. So finally I've got the 37 and 17s on this truck, and it rides like a freaking dream, okay? Now, I'll do a different video on like a little bit of the rigmarole that came with trying to put these 17s on there, but I won't get into it. But if they can get this right here to work on a 150 off the lot, this right here, in my opinion, and it's a very biased opinion, is the best you can get with like off the lot off-road performance. So it's got the ground clearance, it's got the wheels, it's got the tires, it's got the, if you wanted the towing package, it's got the bags on here. And then everything else that already came on the truck. And so, you know, and a side note is we're looking at some other like third-party dealers to do some banger collaborations with. I'm not going to talk about who they are and what we're doing, but like basically to where you can buy a banger kit off the lot. Obviously, we don't have any say-so on the wheels and tires, but if you do want some Raceline wheels, we are a Raceline dealer now, so you can hit me up. Okay. All that being said, the number one, or really the only reason why I do not think this truck is worth the money. I would say a year after I bought this truck, we got the boat we have, and then we got the dump trailer. I was hauling a lot, and I was like, well, I need a 250 or I need a 350. So I'm gonna go trade this truck in, and then we'll do another banger build on the truck. But for building homes and hauling and all this stuff, I need a 3/4 or 1-ton truck. I go to trade this thing in, and like I said, I paid somewhere around 94, 96 grand for this thing. They wouldn't even give me 50 grand. They wouldn't even tell me. They said it's definitely not 50 grand. So I don't know what it was, but the reason it turned so upside down so fast was because NADA and Kelly Blue Books does not recognize Rocky Ridge or Black Widow. They only recognize Tremors. And I need to make sure, but I want to say Tremor comes from the same place that Black Widow and Rocky Ridge do, same parent company. But there's no global market value or NADA value for the Rocky Ridges or the Black Widows to this point. Do I think they should? 100%. Like there's no reason why Rocky Ridges aren't in the NADA list of valuations, because there's so many spread across the market. Why wouldn't this be in the list of considerations? But as of right now, this thing is just valued as an XLT with a pile of miles. So it's super upside down because I paid way too much at the worst possible time in car buying history for the most overpriced package. And then instantly it was upside down at least 50% because of the failure of NADA to recognize Rocky Ridge. So you can't go buy a Rocky Ridge and expect to trade it in 3 years and get your money back. It's not going to happen. You'll see some Rocky Ridges sitting on the market for like $50,000. They're 3 years old with 40,000 miles on them. those are going to sit for a long time. I mean, maybe some kid will buy them and pay way too much interest. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting like those numbers a little bit off, but the truck, there's nothing wrong with this truck. I've been very fortunate in stuff that's happened in the warranty versus outside the warranty. So that being said, I need to find a good tree to go knock on so that nothing happens now. But in short, the Rocky Ridges and the Black Widows are 100% not worth the price tag because the market does not recognize that value for resale or for trade-ins or anything like that. It's once you buy it, I've never seen it happen so bad before where as soon as you buy it, the value plummets. So that's a quick video, but I do talk about it being Rocky Ridge because because of the paint job, I think is probably it at the end of the day. Like, why is it painted like that, or what is that logo? It's a Rocky Ridge. So on the flip side of that, trimmer is recognized by NADA. So as far as I know, you get the inverse effect of that. Not that it's going to appreciate, but it's not going to depreciate anywhere close to the rate that the Rocky Ridges and Black Widows are depreciating. So the trimmer truck, if this truck got totaled out right now, that would be what I look for, is either a Raptor or a trimmer. If I'm looking in the same realm of like Ford half tons, as I would look at Raptors and trimmers because they're recognized at the NADA level and the aftermarket parts are made specific for those trucks. So Rocky Ridge, nope. Trimmer, that's what I would go with. So once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you watching this video. Like I've said before, time is my love language, and I appreciate you sharing yours with mine. I love doing this. I'm going to keep doing it. So if you guys got any feedback for me, put it in the comment section, and please subscribe and definitely comment, ask me, engage with me. I'll answer every single one. So appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.